Damn, Ingenious made the beat. Yo, welcome to another episode of the Coach Life Podcast Radio. I'm, of course, your host, the Prince of Positivity, Coach Steve. Joined with me, as always, my co-pilot, the Dime Dropper. Jeez, been a long day, brother. Long day. The
So
Dime
good.
Dropper, Coach Luna. How we doing, Brody?
Bless, man, bless. Got a good session in today. And I think this was my first session where I had more than three at one time. So, this is going in the right direction. He told you I had that vision a long time ago. I said it on here a long time ago. That unity and community, man, is big. And I'm glad to be a part of it and seeing it. The vision's starting to come together. So, man,
The blessing,
it's a
bro.
blessing, bro. It's a blessing
Definitely a
for sure.
blessing. You know what you're doing again, and we talked about this offline numerous times, is that you're affecting that one person and it's starting to grow, starting to compound. Again, just more success on its way. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure.
Appreciate it.
This is gonna be kind of more of an open forum conversation. Another one of our coaches' corners where we're just gonna kind of pick at a couple topics right now because there's a couple things that's been heavy on my heart. There's a couple things I know has been heavy on your heart, Coach Luna.
Absolutely.
Um, I know we've kicked the can around a little bit and we talked about listening to some degree. We've talked about being pliable. We've talked about who you know versus what you know. We talked about a lot of these different topics offline, and a lot of those definitely kind of intermingle quite a bit.
Hmm.
And I wanted, instead of us going into, into just one of those particular topics, I thought it was, we thought it was very important that we figured out that we kind of combine all these and have this conversation as kind of a whole. Um, I kind of want to start with the who you know versus what you know first, because that is definitely going to tie right into the listening piece that we talked about in numerous pods before. And then also another piece that's kind of been heavy on me is the pliability. Like, are you actually listening? Are you actually applying what you are learning? Are you actually are you having the same problems you've been having for the longest time? You complain about the same things, the same stuff
Mm.
consistently, and there's been no change, but you haven't changed. Or there may be an appearance of your change, but not really a change. Like, what are you really doing to push the envelope a little bit further or push yourself a little bit further to be better? So, Luna, let's have this conversation, bro. Let's have this conversation. Let's talk about first and foremost the who you know versus what you know concept. When we
Okay.
talk when we talk about
Look,
that, help break this down a little bit.
so the way I base level understood it growing up, it was, a good friend of mine, AJ, congratulations, by the way, just got the director of scouting job for the Tennessee Titans.
Hey,
Remember
my
I was talking
man.
about the last pod
Yes,
with
sir.
getting those calls?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's how that works.
Yes, sir.
But his dad, bro, growing up was like a big mentor for all of us as far as someone we wanted to look up to that kind of gave us the ability to see what um a pro lifestyle could look like and what it would take to see and do and be those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said this a long time ago, and it always stuck with me, bro. He said, "You can mess up your whole life by hitching your wagon onto the wrong horse."
Mm. Mm.
Right?
Lame horse.
Bingo. And as I've gotten older, it's grown on me at understanding what he was basically saying is relationships and the authenticity within relationships. Because oftentimes uh what I've noticed in the coaching world when I was in college, um, a lot of the jobs are where you see this guy got that job and that guy got this job and this guy got that job. A lot of it is strictly based off of relationships.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And there has been plenty of times where guys could go ahead and feel like, well, that guy's more qualified or that guy's more qualified. But who wants to work with that guy? He's pompous, he's arrogant, he's, every negative trait that you could probably think of. He encompasses one that could easily become toxic within a work environment. Believe it or
Yeah,
not, coaches, especially head coaches and coordinators, they look and try to hire within the personality of what this room could eventually become if I make this hire. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
And that ties into that who you know versus what you know, because a lot of, again, this kind of ties back into what you said about my constant situations and
Hmm.
one thing being constant, which is me. Um, if you're a person that's constantly bouncing from thing to thing and person to person or situation to situation or job to job, then now sometimes there is some unfortunate events that may occur,
Hmm.
but in the sense of things happening directly to you consistently, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, let me sit back and digest about what's going on. Okay, let me put the dots on the paper and say, all right, boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, this situation was this situation was that, this situation was this. Man, okay. Maybe I need to change something. Maybe
Maybe
there is a
there's a common
correlation.
denominator, right?
There has to be. But bro, that goes back to what we talked about with just humility, bro. Like nobody wants to admit that they're a POS. Nobody wants to admit that they're the reason for their mishaps. Nobody wants to go ahead and look in the mirror and say, hey, you tripping. Like nobody, because that is me telling me I'm a problem. Nobody likes that, bro.
So you saying that it's a lesson in the loss is what you saying?
You have
That we
to.
that we don't that we don't necessarily go and look for?
And see, but this is the thing that pisses me off about a lot of people, right? It's the lesson in the loft, and then everybody has these quotes that they want to live by, as far as fall down once, pick yourself up twice, and all this other crap. But then when it happens to you directly, you're not living that. Just because you pick yourself up does not mean you go right back into doing the same things that you did before. What
Sounds a
made
little
you
bit of
fall?
insane behavior.
What made you fall?
Right.
Right? So
Right.
why would I fall, pick myself back up, and then go right back over the same freaking rock I just tripped over? What sense does that make? That rock was supposed to teach me a lesson. When I was on that ground and picking myself back up, the process of picking myself back up was part of the lesson. When I got up, the next lesson was, what am I going to do now?
Hmm.
But that part right there, bro, that goes over people's heads because we all say these little quotes and we never look at it for what it really is. It's not just a feel good quote. There's something that's tied to that you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to consistently go through the same things. If you're consistently going through the same things, that means you have yet to pass the test of the lesson that you're supposed to be learning. What
So you
happens,
keep failing.
coach? What happens if you don't pass your finals, okay, in college, and you don't, and what's gonna happen?
You about to take this class back over.
You're gonna have to pay for that again.
You
And
about exactly
when do you finally get the credit for that class?
when you pass it. You got
When
to
you
pass the
pass.
test, right?
But because we don't expect life to work that way. We don't expect life to still teach us lessons. We think soon as I get done with grade school, I'm no longer being graded for anything.
Right.
But yet all these situations keep piling up and all these situations keep happening. I'm failing in certain areas. My report card is ass. Let's keep it a
That's
buck.
so you saying that I have to take that accountability.
You have to,
You,
but you
and
gotta, that's that self-inventory.
but that's
What
again, like you
areas,
said, that's something that a lot of people are not willing to do. That's taking that self inventory, like you said, and that's hard for a lot of people.
it is, coach, but am I gonna do a self-inventory? Or I'm gonna let somebody inventory me. I'm already the
100%,
person that doesn't want to listen to anybody.
100%,
I don't want to
100%,
listen to anybody. But now
100%.
I can control how I talk to myself. I can control about what I need to do for myself,
Hmm.
but I don't want to listen to self because it's gonna be a little hard.
But you know what the other funny the flip side of this too is that same individual that doesn't want to hear anybody, or they may hear they may hear some people, right? They may hear some people. That same individual or those type of individuals, when you tell them that this is the issue, this is the problem, this is the reason why you keep failing or why you keep having the same problems or why these things are the way that they are for them, they already know that. They're already saying that to themselves. This is already subconsciously already being heard numerous times over countless situations that they've gone through. They've already heard this right now. I don't want to hear it from somebody else, like you said. I don't want to have to take that inventory for somebody else. I don't want to have to take that accountability for myself.
But what have we talked about on this pod a million times? If something is in my spirit and in my heart, and somebody comes and says that direct thing to me, what is that called?
Man,
What do we call that? That's confirmation.
that is 100% confirmation. 100% confirmation that you
But
need to
then,
start
but
making the
then,
change.
but then, coach, I'm a spiritual being. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. So what do you call that then? What do you want to call it? Coincidence? We
Whatever you want
all,
to call it, it means
whatever you
something
want
needs
to,
to change.
something brought attention. And something is saying that whatever is irking your spirit is saying, hey, get that right. Whatever you want to call it, it's something, it's
Hmm.
there. And for whatever, however you want to go ahead and bring it significance to it, the world brought attention to it. Someone made that person bring attention to you, but you want to call it coincidence. Okay.
Coach, Coach, you made a comment earlier, and I want to kind of go back to this because I think people hinge a lot on these factors, and that's where I think a lot of people fail, or where they don't feel like they need to put in any work in those particular areas because I'm really good at this one thing. So you made the comment about people maybe having a skill and or doing something in one particular, like you're really good at doing this. So you may be, let's talk about it. Let's go back to football. We're just talking about it on the pre-show about football, about coaching, right? Let's say we got that receiver that got really good hands. This kid could catch the ball no matter what. Doesn't matter where the ball is, he is going to catch that ball. It does not matter. Low, high, in traffic, doesn't matter. He catching that rock, but he can't get off the line.
Oh, coach, no, we just gonna do ball drills all day. We're gonna highlight, we're gonna do what he good at. And that's it. Because nobody ever is gonna go play press corner on him.
Never,
Nobody's gonna see that.
never. We are
Nobody's gonna
not.
see
Oh,
that.
so Coach Luna,
No, we're gonna let them just run
Coach
fades
Luna,
all day. Bombs on the
Coach,
bag.
we, you know it. You in the box. You in the box. You see this.
Oh, trust me, I know what you
What we
mean.
do? What we doing
We putting hands on them
all day?
all day.
You about to get
See,
your ass whooped.
and this is the thing, and I'm glad you took it that route, because that's a great analogy, by the way. In life, we all want to highlight what we're good at, which is fine,
Facts.
which is fine,
Yep.
right? But there needs to be more attention to the areas that are weak, the areas that are flawed, the areas that are unwatered. It was pastor a couple weeks ago. He talked about visiting his gardener, right? And his gardener had like the perfect garden, right? And long story short, he asked the gardener, like, hey, what is it? How do you maintain your garden so well, right? He was like, I tend every single plant, every single flower, and I check for weeds every single day. Not every other day, not every week.
Consistency.
Consistently checking for weeds every single day, right? As opposed to the gardener across the street or the regular gardener who only goes ahead and tries to get rid of the weeds when he sees them, right? By that time, coaches, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a gardener and I don't know if you are either, but from my understanding, by the time you see the weed, it's already gotten a stranglehold underneath
It's
of the
already
life.
working. It's
It's
already
already
working.
working, and that one is already connected to that one that's way over there. And now you got a weave of weeds strangling your flowers, right?
100%.
So that's what that analogy was like, bro. You can't just focus on one area of your house. You have to go ahead and focus in every single room, every single corner, every single crevice, underneath the bed, all that shit. You know, and I have to remind us too. When I have to go ahead and clean up around the house, why tell them, hey, did you get underneath the couch? Did you get
Yep.
underneath,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
it's that same thing. And you know, it's funny. It's funny now we're talking about this, bro, because I just had this conversation with T. White and Charles the other day. On Sunday, I was at Trader Joe's, right?
Hmm.
And getting all the groceries, and I picked up this yellow coconut curry sauce because in my brain I'm like, man, you know what? I want to make some curry sometime soon.
Hmm.
Halfway down the aisle, I said, you know what? No, I'm not. So I put the yellow curry and I put it in a place it wasn't supposed to be. I put it right next to the pasta.
Oh, coach,
Listen,
I'm mad at you right now, bro.
listen. 2 weeks ago, well, about 3 weeks ago, I can't remember exactly when, but T. White had put a quote in my head and it stuck with me, bro. He was like, bro, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you do mediocre stuff, bro, and you cut corners, you're gonna cut corners in some other area. So, bro, I Trader Joe's guy walked right past me, right? So I'm like, bro, I know he just saw me, bro. I was like, man, I'm not gonna do this, bro, because the inconvenience of what I just did to you, I just made your job a little bit hard. I just made your day a little worse. So let me go ahead and I did exactly what I did. I grabbed it, walked back 12 steps,
And
and put it
dropped
back
off.
where it was supposed to. Just
Exactly.
put it back where it was supposed to. You know what
How
I'm
many
saying?
people how many people would go and put the cart back at the cart corral? Like, how many times have you gone to a
Bro,
grocery store and
I'm
you
gonna put it in
seen
the parking
carts just
spot.
exactly, bro? It's sitting in the parking spot. Somebody
That
gonna get
parking
it.
spot. That's gonna be somebody else's problem.
Exactly. And this little shit like that, like a lot of people just don't understand. And it's just those small little inconveniences. Again, just think about it from your perspective. If you were the guy that had to go and pick up all these carts, you want to go across this whole goddamn parking lot and pick up carts, or you want to
Yeah.
go to the cart corral and pick up all the carts where they're supposed to be?
You got to think about it like this too, bro. Put yourself in the shoes of inconvenience that happens to you in your workplace. If
Right.
somebody doesn't do what they were supposed to do,
Right.
and now this ends up in your lap, how does that make you feel? We can't look at those jobs and look at it like it's less than. At the
Right.
end of the day, that's their job. And at the end
Still
of
a
the
job.
day, I'm providing an inconvenience when I do something that I was not supposed to do. And I
Simple
should
as that.
have went ahead and did it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you take responsibility for providing inconveniences or providing conveniences for people, making their lives easier, that's a return effect. Like it's gonna come
Mhm.
back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like if I would have left that yellow curry right there, I guarantee you something in my day, whether I wanted to recognize it or not, would have correlated with exactly that moment. You know what I'm
That
saying?
karma would have came back, bro.
Exactly. And what do we always talk about karma? Karma doesn't necessarily have to come back in the same exact manner. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It could just come back as inconvenience for that person. Well, now some inconvenience for you.
Exactly.
It can just
Something majorly
easily
inconvenience you.
running into a nail while I'm driving. Boom, flat tire.
Yep.
That's an inconvenience.
Yep. Exactly. And it could stem just from moving the curry sauce.
But people don't want to think like that, bro, because it's too. I think people think life is way too simple to think about how complex it really is. You know, I may be
Can you
trying to, I may be
can you
trying to,
say that
I
for the
may
people in the
flip,
back? Say
I
say
may
that for the people in the
flip.
back.
I may think that I don't. Let me say it like this: I don't think people try to, um, how can I say this? Bring life or light to the importance of their life. Um, I don't think they know how big of a magnitude it is. I think a lot of people get so caught into their routine and habits and mundaneness that I don't even know if that's a word.
It is.
That they get so caught into it that they feel insignificant. And bro, I'm like, bro, I 1,000,000% believe that there is no life on earth that's insignificant.
Facts.
Because inter there's too many intertwining things that happen within a given day that if you give attention to it, you could just be like, man, that right there, that right there, that right there. And that's why, like, bro, I had to open up my horizon as far as I'm thinking. And then when I started living more and more in the act of gratitude and being thankful, I started seeing things more different. I started seeing my place within the earth and how I can go ahead and help other things and other people. You know what I'm saying, bro? That bird feed, I've had that since 2022, I want to say, but it's been more of a significant piece of my being and my like how I feel about it has completely shifted than when I first initially did it. First initially did it was just to feed some birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I know that there's a meaning behind it because I'm providing food for one of God's animals. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I kind of felt bad because on Sunday when they pulled up, all three of them, they start chirping and I ain't got no food for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn,
You built
my
a
bad.
routine.
I built my
You
bad,
built their
y'all.
routine now.
Built
That
their routine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there's nobody that's insignificant. Your insignificance is as much as you want to believe it, but that doesn't mean you're insignificant at all. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feed that negativity, then that's what it's gonna be. If you go ahead and start thinking differently and understanding that that sign that what you've been looking for is probably directly in your face, those situations that you had constantly going through are your signs. Like, bro, like I may be rambling, but all right, oh well. you
this
know,
is Coach Corner, bro. This is Coach
I
Corner.
know. So, Pastor said this a long time ago, bro, and it stuck with me. It's like God wouldn't give you a career where He's not a part of,
Facts.
right? Like He's not going to go ahead and give you an 80-hour work week job to where now He's non-existent in your life, even though you may be making however much money, right? That's not from Him. Why would He want you to get further from Him, right? And when I started thinking about that stuff, bro, and that, bro, I plenty of times I always just hear quotes in my head, and it's just like little reminders and jabs, like, hey, adjust,
Yep.
pivot, listen, right? And and that's where that balance and all that stuff, right, it really just started triggering with me, bro. And I started being able to see um the ability to balance and the importance of balance, um, and how it just all like it was,
How it
when
all
we
work like
talked
a
about,
circle.
man, just like remember when we talked about the whole Trinity, right? The
Mm-hmm.
wellness Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I was, bro, I couldn't really just tap into what that really looked like or what that really meant or really even live it until I was able to get my balance. Because remember, we talked about what type of triangle is it? We said an
Yep.
equilateral triangle.
Right.
What is an equilateral triangle?
Equal
It's a
sides.
balanced,
It's a
it's a
balanced triangle.
balanced equal side triangle, right?
Yep.
60, 60, 60,
Yep.
right?
100%. That's
Man, and
exactly.
then
And we missed that piece quite a bit. We and again, this kind of goes back to like you said, when we talked about people focusing in on that one piece. That's again why your triangle's out of whack right now because you've only focused in on the one piece right now. You may be physically doing the job the way that you need to do the job, but are you mentally doing the job the way that you need to do the job? Maybe
Mhm.
that's why you're getting thrown off as consistently as you're getting thrown off right now because you can do the physical thing, but you mentally haven't adjusted yet. You haven't really understood it yet. It's funny because and Coach Wash said this a bunch of times. I know you've gotten this a bunch of times from from your circle and from people that you know. How and why do you walk this way? I think, and I can't remember. I'm trying to remember which pod it was. But there was a comment that was made on one of our earlier pods. Was like, this is my circle. Like, this is just my circle. Like, if you're not a part of this circle, like Coach Rack, I think Coach Rack said
It
this
was
is
right.
like I think he said like this is my circle, and everybody that's in this circle, like we know how we move in this circle.
There's a
Like
standard.
exactly, there's a set standard on how we move and how we work. Period. We don't have to question anybody in this circle because they all understand what the expectation is. So we there is no we have to walk this way. We that's how we move. So it's funny when you listen to people that say like I'm not understanding how and why I'm having the issues that I'm having. I'm not understanding how you're having the success that you're having and what you're doing. Like, what are you doing differently that I'm not doing? Like, I'm doing what you're doing. So why am I not getting the same results? It's here.
And you got to question your motives.
If,
What are you seeking to gain?
what are you doing this for?
What are you seeking to gain? Because
Yep.
if it's something that you're trying to get that's superficial, bro, the world, the like we talked about with the universe, bro, God, universe, whatever y'all want to call it, it's not gonna respond to uh places you're not watering, the attention, if your intentions are bad, you're taking advantage of people, all that's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? You could take advantage of the people for a little bit right now, and then eventually, mm,
It's gonna hit you
it's gonna
hard.
come back
It's
somehow,
gonna hit you
some way.
hard.
It's gonna hit you back. Your intentions have to be pure. And it's going to fruit the fruits are going to show. You know what I'm talking about? The tree, the roots, the fruit, all that. It's going to show,
So you
no matter
saying
what.
if you don't eventually get to a point where you can be intentional, be really truly intentional and really have a true, honest, good intention behind what you're doing or what you're trying to do, you're gonna get exposed. It may not be in the beginning, it may not be until the very end, but it's going to happen. You're gonna
Look at
get
Diddy.
exposed.
Look at
Exactly.
Diddy. Look at R. Kelly. Look at all these artists. I mean, it
All
happens all the time.
look at all these movie stars, artists, comedians. Look across the entire industry. Look at the industry as a whole.
And the thing is, bro, and everybody has this in them, whether they want to admit it or not. Everybody has a some bit of what I would call self-righteousness. My little bit of deviance that I will go ahead and say it's not too bad or it's
This
not
ain't
as
as
bad,
bad. Right.
right?
Yep.
I need
It's
to,
okay.
but
This little vice is okay.
you do understand what that is? That's that little weed that's going into my garden that's going to choke the rest of these flowers if I don't go ahead and address that.
Hmm.
Now, what did we say about that garden? It's daily,
The
not every
consistency.
other day, not a week. It's daily, bro. Like I gotta battle it daily.
So let's bring this back full circle. Once you get yourself, and I think everybody can agree with this, and Coach Loon, you put this beautifully. Again, once you have gotten yourself to a point where you can do this consistently for yourself, you can do this to a point where like now you move that way. your circle gonna start opening up.
Hmm.
Your resources are gonna start opening up. Your activity is gonna start opening up. Like it's funny because again, I keep saying this, like I I got off a flight this morning or this afternoon, and I was sitting on the flight, and anybody that knows me, that like really know me, I don't like flying. Not a fan. Not a fan. Too high up in the air. Not a fan. But I understand. Safest way to travel, right? Safest way to travel. Flying today, I had so much stuff on my mind and so many things that I wanted to kind of, thinking about the pod and everything else that we were going to be doing. Flying was the least fear that was on my mind. Like, I've been consistently flying now. It's like my job has completely changed. That consistency is there now. Like, I'm starting to see now I'm building more relationships, being able to affect more change with more people outside of just doing helping my department. Being able to help a lot of people get a lot of knowledge and get a lot more resources and have a lot more opportunity to expand their knowledge and grow their career. That on the flight home, and we were about to land, we were about 25 minutes out from O'Hare. And as we were landing, I looked out the window and just felt this sense of peace. I don't think I've ever felt this kind of peace flying before, ever. It was at a point where I was like, and the entire time that I was thinking that when I got on the flight, because if I fly by the window, the damn window thing's down. The shade's down. I don't need to see out there. But I flew with it this time. I flew it the whole time open. And the entire time, like I said, I had that sense of peace because you have that sense of fulfillment. You have that sense of purpose. You have that sense of I'm doing something for the betterment of everybody. And it's genuine. And when it's genuine, you start having more options, start having more opportunity. Like stuff start naturally coming to you at that point. Like you naturally start gravitating all those good things and those good vibes that you want, that you always want, that you need, you start getting. You start getting all of it.
But what do you have to be first? You got to start being that.
Yes. You gotta be that person. You gotta walk that way. You
Can't
can't.
fake the funk.
There it is. There it is.
People gonna see it and immediately, and you'll be exposed. You'll be exposed. You'll be expelled. All those EXP words. You
There
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying? Like you gonna be expired. All that. You know what
All
I'm
that
saying? People gonna notice it because it's easy to tell when someone's trying to fit in, when someone's trying to do too much. Like bro,
should be
like
you.
like Kendrick Lamar said, you ain't got a lot of kick it.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying,
Yep.
bro? Chill out. Just be if you are authentic, just be authentic and be within this space. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, it's real. You know, and I know everybody knows that there's some people that you know that you would not introduce or bring around certain friends,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And but that's also being aware of type of people that you associated with and the type of people that you know that hey, this person and this person that
Yeah.
ain't gonna match.
That's vinegar. That's vinegar and baking soda. I don't
Yeah,
we're gonna blow
hey,
some shit up. I don't want to do that.
yeah, bro, that's just not gonna be a good blend.
It's gonna be a volatile situation. We don't want that right
Mhm.
now. So I 100% agree with you on that. And again, it's funny because the way this conversation evolved and we were initially talking about, your circle and just having, who you know versus what you know, those doors don't open up for you. Those opportunities don't open up for you. Those people don't open up for you until you start fixing your own shit.
I'm telling you, man, those I've seen it. There's a reason why those relationships are like that because there's a personal story, personal bond. There's something that they they got like this
It's a
because
likeness.
of authenticity.
Hmm.
Authenticity is the only thing that can unlock. and do that. Because you can very well come into a situation be just like this. You harden, you don't want to talk to nobody, you don't want to open up to anybody, and then this ain't going and fitting anywhere. The minute you open up, now you give that opportunity, and now you create that relationship.
Coach Luna, did you just say that we need to learn how to be pliable?
Oh, I didn't even know that's what I did, but
My
yes.
man. My man.
I didn't even know that's what I did.
Look at you, bro. Look at you. The hole in the bottom, bro. You gotta sew that up, bro. You just dropping dimes all over the place. I'm telling you, gotta sew it up. But you're 100% right. You have to learn how to be pliable. You have to learn how to be like clay. Bruce Lee said it best. Be like water.
Be like water, my friend.
Be like water. Exactly. Be like water. Again, the one of the best quotes that I heard, and actually it's funny because it was almost like a lesson in a lost quote. When I was out in Miami, there was a bus that was spray painted, and on the spray paint that was on there was, um, you don't know how lucky you don't know how lucky your losing is.
Mm.
Play again, and it was for a casino. But like
That's
it's
a
like
good
it's just kind
quote.
of unique, right? Like you don't know
Yeah.
how lucky your losing is. Like
You
play
learn more
again.
from the loss.
Right. And shout out to my Uber driver who got me home in like less than 15 minutes flying through traffic trying to get me there. Um but 100% when I saw that quote again it goes back to that it resonated with me that there's so many lessons in the loss, and if you don't know how to take those lessons, if you don't know how to truly understand the lessons and understand that you need to learn how to be pliable, you may think you may be pliable. You may once have been clay, and then but you may be the clay that got left out, or the clay that they ain't put the top back on. So it got a little hard. You need a little bit of water, like Bruce Lee said, to kind of soften you up a little bit so that you can be a little bit more pliable, so that you can take a little bit more, that you can rebound a little bit more. And things may not be as hard for you if you learn how to be a little bit more pliable with certain situations and not be so, like Coach Luna said, so stiff and so hard on it. Pause. Just throw it out there.
No did it.
No diddy. Coach Luna, wrap us up, bro.
Oh man. Oh, reciprocation.
Mm,
That's what's in my head right now. That's what's on my heart. Um, I talked about this with Charles and T White after a workout session. I was like, man, you know what's crazy about life and everything, and I'm not trying to say I got it all figured out. Please.
exactly.
Hell. But um everything that we as human beings in this experience, everything that we have ever wanted, we had to go and go get. Um, and that is a action, that is
Mm,
something that I have to go and do. If I want to receive more knowledge, I must start reading more books. I must expand my horizon of where this knowledge may come from. And then when I expose myself to that knowledge, then I become more wise or learn. If I want to be more, um, if I want to be more of a giving person, how do I do that? I must give. I must give back. I must I must learn to receive.
mm,
That may be part of my problem of not being able to give is I don't know how to receive either.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I need to learn how to give, I may need to go volunteer. I may need to go and pay my tithes, but I don't have enough money. Yeah, you do.
There you do.
Promise you do. I said the same thing. I promise you, I said this. I'm telling you right now, I was not a tither for the past however many years. I'm telling you right now, the power of tithing is real.
Is
That's all I'm
is
gonna say.
is doable. Is
That's all
doable.
I'm gonna say.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm not gonna go any further than that, but I'm gonna just say I'm gonna put that out there for sure.
I'm gonna double down on that, and I'll say this. Personally speaking, when you when I've paid tithes, God has consistently blessed tenfold
Every
over
time,
every single time.
every
Even when I
time.
said, I don't want to get his, I can't get his 20 up. I want to go get this burger after I was done.
Mhm.
I'm just give it up. Funny enough, you end up running into some money or running into a situation that opens up a door that opens up more money or
Yes.
more activity to get to do something that you didn't get a chance to do, that you didn't have to pay for. Like again, is real. It's super real.
If I want to improve my circle of friends, I must improve myself to improve my circle of friends.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I have to go ahead and I have to take action. All I'm saying, if I don't know if people are hearing this, there's action required on your part for you to start seeing the change of the things of what you're seeking or whatever you may be looking for.
Facts.
You are not the complete author. You're not the author, right? But you are the actor in your movie. You get to make these decisions. You have free will. You can go and do these things. Is it is it good for me or is it bad for me? Is it helping me or is it hindering me? Which one of those things am I doing? Am I okay with the decision I'm going to make if I know that it's going to hinder me? Then I can't be mad at the results of what comes on the back end.
Hmm.
What did we just talk about? This is a reciprocated, everything is reciprocated. Whether good or bad, I'm going to receive this in another form or fashion, in another way, in another part of my life, whether I want to accept it or not. It's a proven fact. Just look at your life and say, man, this happened, I did this, and then this happened. I did that, and then this happened. I did this, and then this happened. It's not like I said, I don't have it figured out. I don't think it's a perfect science. But what I have noticed in my personal life, when I wanted to go ahead and seek and want to do things, and I wanted certain things for my life, nothing changed until I decided I wanted to go do it. And I actually put my freaking best foot forward and went ahead and did it. Not half-assed, not dipping my toe in the pool just to see if it's cold or hot. Just freaking go and do it. There's days where I promise you I don't feel like doing it. Plenty, but I got to. Why? Because I've seen the results of the other half-ass crap that I did forever, however many years.
Hmm.
I've seen those results. Why would I continue the same recipe? That's like owning a restaurant and we failing every goddamn health thing and we cleaning and doing the same shit we always did. We're gonna continue getting these bad grades.
Are you saying you using the mop bucket to get ice?
That's what I'm saying. Like you're consistently doing the same stuff and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. It's
Right.
just not. And then this is the next part, coach. I get to a point where, no, okay, I'm good. I
I'm
built up a
doing it.
sweat today.
I'm doing it.
I did something,
I did it.
but I don't see the results.
So
But you don't understand that this is the most longest thing. This life is the essence of delayed gratification.
marathon, not a sprint,
This
bro.
is a marathon. This is a mother freaking marathon. And until your ass went out there and ran some miles, you won't understand the analogy of how what you mean. This is not run
I
as fast as you can in
I
the
ran
beginning.
around the block and I got tired, coach.
This ain't you can't run as fast as you can in the beginning. You got to maintain a constant pace throughout
Constant,
this thing because
consistent
if
pace,
you
right?
constant, consistent, because at one point, if I go a little bit too much, that's going to affect my back end. There's what's this R word, coach? Precipitate.
Reciprocation.
Oh, reciprocation. That's
There
what
we
we're
go.
talking about.
Reciprocation.
Everything is reciprocated, bro. Everything. I cannot keep waiting on life to keep doing things to me and I'm not doing anything.
There it is.
It's not going to happen. Period.
I think we're gonna
Period.
title this one, Are You Listening?
If if I want to see the change, I need to be the change that I am seeking.
There it is. Yep. There it is. 100%. Couldn't have said it any better, brother. Couldn't have said it any better. You want it to change? This is the work
Be the
that has to,
change
this
that you
is the
want
work
to
that have to
see.
happen. Yep. Be the change you want to see. And if, again, if that change that you want to see is a little bit too much work, then maybe you ain't ready for the change. Maybe you don't want the change as much as you say you want it.
Just
Because you
talking about.
can't keep talking about it and not really want to do the
I'm
work that
saying, bro,
require,
we
right?
are super past the talking phase now. Bro, my homeboy Charles said this, bro. He said, listen, Luna, I want you to pay attention to this. Average lifespan of a male, a black male in the United States is, I think, 66, 67, maybe 69, top 69, right? I had a group, I told you I had a conversation with my homeboy. I said, bro, what do y'all hear? Middle age, what do y'all think about? They're like, yeah, 40 to 60. I said, so how the is 40 to 60 middle aged, but 69 years old is death on average, and we 33, 34.
Hey,
But
bro,
we already middle.
I'm not middle, bro. I'm
We
not middle.
already,
I'm about to live to 200. I already know this.
but you get what I'm saying.
I feel you.
Our concept of time, our
Oh, it's
concept of
jaded. It's
time and
so
our
jaded.
age is janky.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
it's so janky. Like,
You think
bro,
you got so much time? I got time
we
to
are in
make
our
all these
mid
changes.
30s already. Like, we are at the halfway point on average. On
Coach,
average.
coach, there's some people that listen to this pod that are in the 40s, in the 50s.
But the thing with age, coach, and I don't care if we keep going. The thing with age, coach, is it's a number
Correct.
that does not uh, accurately assess maturity.
100%.
And you can be 45, you can be 48, you can be 52, you can be 63, and you hear some of these things, and you still can't warp your head around to why the family don't want to come around you or why nobody want to invite you anywhere. You an energy vampire. You every time you come in the room, the energy just gets sucked
It's
out.
gone. Gone.
Gone.
Again, man. I mean, I'm really appreciative that we had this conversation. Again, that we talked about this in more of an open forum because again, it just kind of it encompasses everything that I have seen from some individuals that make me feel like why? Like why are you going through what you're going through right now? Like you don't have to go through what you're going through right now, but you're going through it because you haven't learned the lesson yet. You haven't learned how to be pliable yet. You haven't learned how to hit that switch yet. And again, for some of us maybe not that switch may be too far up. Just probably never gonna hit it. And
But it's in
that's
your
just
room
honest
for a
truth.
reason.
What was that?
That light switch in your room for a reason.
Absolutely. It's within reach. You just don't want to get your ass up out the bed to go and click it.
Bingo.
You just don't want to do it. So,
Down
and
about to put
again,
that extra.
right. Again, that's the extra effort. 100%. That extra effort. But again, I'm really happy that we had this conversation because again, like I said, it this has been definitely heavy on my heart. I know it's definitely been some a piece of it's been heavy on your heart as well. So I'm glad that we had this conversation because I'm hoping that this touched somebody and just one. Because again, we talk about this all the time. Just one person. If it just affects one person, it hits home with one person. Shout out AB, dropping a comment in the last spot again. I know. Um, he said it definitely hit home. I thought that that was a very powerful pod. I think this is going to be another very powerful pod. I think all of them, again, they definitely all hit home. Um, I really, really, really hope. I really hope that anyone that gets a chance to listen to this pod, that they really truly understand that we don't have it all figured out.
Thanks.
There's a difference in what we're doing and what you're doing. The difference is that we are humbled ourselves to listen to others, to gain the knowledge from others, to know that we're not the smartest people in the room.
And give it back.
Exactly. That's the important part. Because again, we can't sit here on the spot and have these conversations about, what you should be doing if we're not trying to do it ourselves. So again, definitely appreciate the support. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to hear more from your Coach Life podcast family. Definitely appreciate the shout outs. Saw a couple purchases there, so pockets are going up a little bit with some revenue hitting the bank account. I always appreciate that. There we go. Keep on buying that merch, y'all. We appreciate you. Again, if you want to hear more from the Coach Life podcast fam, hit that like, subscribe button if you want to hear more. Uh, Again, hit us up on Instagram, YouTube. We'll have those links over in the bio. Next week, I know for sure we got another very powerful pod. I think we got a guest coming for next week, if I'm not mistaken. So Coach Wash will be
Word on the
back
street.
on.
Word on the
Yes, sir.
street.
Word on the street. Yep, word on the street. Got a special guest. I don't want to drop all that information. That's not my place. It's not my place. I'm not the dime dropper. Hopefully you got that zipped up. You ain't gonna tell nobody either. But again, Coach Wash will be back on next week with us with a special guest. Definitely have another impactful pod that definitely is gonna be very insightful. So definitely tune in for that. Yeah. So again, we'll see you guys next time in the next one. And as always, stay positive, my friends.